Hey, I'm Cornelius Wilson Brown III. Hey, Solomon Trading Institute. I'm the founder of that. I'm also the author of a book called The Money Market Autopsy, where I kind of just go into a little bit about trading and about what can be done, as a trader. Also, I wrote a book called The Blessing Connection, and I wrote that book for believers because for some reason, sometimes believers don't feel that they should be rich, but it's the will of God that you prosper. It's the will of God that you be rich. It's the will of God that you be wealthy. It's the will of God that you be able to pay all of your bills on time. It's the will of God that you don't have your lights cut off. It's the will of God that you be able to meet mortgage payments and buy homes and things of that nature. It's the will of God that you prosper. That word prosper just means to go over any obstacle that may come up in your life. It's the will of God that you do well, that you go over any spiritual obstacle, any social obstacle, any mental obstacle, any physical obstacle, as well as financially. And so what God has done with us is we created this company. It's called the Solomon Trading Institute. As you know, Solomon was the richest man in the Bible, and so he was a God man. Matter of fact, the Bible says that when Solomon was in charge, that silver was on the ground and it was as common as stones. It's the will of God that we have everything that we need when we need it. So I want to welcome you today to this Edge TV podcast episode. And I want to introduce some people to you that are very, very dear to me, that are very, very special to me, and that have proven themselves to be friends of mine as well as colleagues. And so I want to introduce Rene Ortega, Curtis Austin, and Tariq Wheatley. How you doing, guys? Welcome.
Morning.
It's
Morning.
Morning.
such a blessing to see you guys in such a relaxed state, because typically we get ready to trade and everybody's making sure their numbers are right and everybody's keen and raring to go. But today we're in a relaxed setting and just chilling. We're not fighting today. We're not battling as buddies against the market. So I want to just go around the horn very, very quickly. So I invited Rene here because Rene is a part of our program. He's matriculated through our educational milieu. And as he's doing that, he has reached the level to where he's one step from live trading. So I wanted to bring him on so that we can hear and listen to some perspectives from him on how his days go and the things that he's experienced. And then I brought Curtis Austin and Tariq Wheatley on because they are our newest funded traders. Funded traders simply mean this, that what we do, we have positioned ourselves to be the Kaplan in this industry. And what I mean by that is Kaplan is a company that sells testing materials and resources. And so if you're getting ready to take the MCAT, or if you're getting ready to take some major test and examination, Kaplan will give you the resources and they will help you prepare for that test. So after you go through those resources that they have, then you go and you take the test, and they play a role in helping you. So that's what we do. So in the trading world, now there are trader funding companies, and they're actually brokerage firms as well. And what they do is they allow us to trade money on their behalf, basically hiring you as a trade clerk, for lack of a better way to explain to people who don't know, meaning that you're trading someone else's money, which means now you're leveraging, instead of $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 to $20,000 that you would normally do on your own. Now with them, you're able to leverage $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And here's the beautiful thing about that: you get to keep 90% of the money that you make. You get to keep 90% of that money that you make. So let's say you're leveraging money, you're leveraging, $1 million. Well, if you can make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on that particular day, you get to keep 90% of that. And so it's a beautiful thing. And our students have really, really done really, really well on that. And so Curtis Austin and Tariq Wheatley, they have just now passed their evaluations. And so we just wanted to kind of talk to them about what was the journey like, things of that nature. So I want you to introduce yourself to the people today. I want you to tell us where you're from, and just introduce yourself, what your name, hometown, things like that, age if you want to, so that people can see people from all walks of life are participating in the Solomon Trading Institute, and we're positioning them to make millions of dollars for the rest of their lives. Hey Rene, how you doing?
Well, hello. Thank you for inviting me. Real simple. I'm from Vancouver, Washington. I've been in Hawaii for 40 plus years, and I just recently moved to Vancouver, Washington about a year ago. And I'm 61 years old. I wanted to transition in my life, and a good friend of mine, Dennis Wilson, referred me to Mr. Cornelius Brown, and I said, man, this is perfect for what I was looking for to do, so I can have more control over my schedule, my time, and be with my grandson. Because the whole purpose I moved here was because my my daughter had a boy, and they needed help and to be with my family. So uh, that's where I'm at.
That's good. That's good. Well, it's a pleasure to have you. You have definitely been a breath of fresh air to our whole entire community. We love you and we thank God that you're a part of what we're doing. So, Curtis, also, why don't you introduce yourself to the people who are you and things of that nature?
Yes, good morning. I'm Curtis Austin. I'm 50 years old. I live in Trussville, Alabama. I came into this program a few years back. Actually, I was, excuse me, one of the earlier students. And I came in looking for a way to be in more control of my income. I was already an entrepreneur, already owned my own business, but I was still kind of trading my time for money. So, like Renee said, I wanted more freedom, and I was hoping that this would afford me that, and it looks like it's doing just that.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, you definitely a delight to be around, and that's one of the things that I really, really like about what we do. All the persons who are involved are just great people, aside of just being colleagues and battle buddies. So that's great. Glad to have you with us, Tariq Wheatley. Would you introduce yourself to the people and just kind of share, maybe your name, hometown, age, if you don't mind, things of that nature.
Good morning, everybody. Part of the mass. I'm still recovering from the vid. She finally got me. But I was born in Newark, grew up in New York, so I'm a tri-state baby. My mother, Elise, she actually got into the program in 2006, maybe eight, something around there. Like she's been in it for a while, and it took me a while to jump on board, but I got injured at my primary job in '09, and that just kind of sort of kicked me in the butt to just say go ahead and jump in, and I'm glad that I did jump in. It definitely teaching me a lot about myself, as far as being patient and understanding of the markets and things of that nature. And just like Curtis and Rene, I was looking for something to take control of my time and spend more time with my kids and make events, sporting events, and things of that nature. And joining the Solomon Trading Institute is definitely giving me that ability to be able to join in the fun and festivities with the family as much as I can. And like I said,
That's
it's a pleasure to be in the group.
Man, that's good. That's good. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So quickly, Curtis, very quickly, what is the most money you've made in a day?
I think it was eight 8,000.
Hmm.
Eight. I think it was $8,240. I
Okay,
think. I
okay,
think.
that's good. That's good. Tariq, what's the most money you've made in a day?
Around 5K.
About 5K. That's
Yeah.
pretty. That's pretty good. A lot of people don't make $8,000 in a month or $5,000 in a month. Let alone you're sharing with us that you made that kind of money. In one day. So Renee, your time is coming. You're still outside of the ring, but hey, listen, you're at the bout though, and it's just it's just a minute. It'll be your time. So Renee, we'll get started with you. So you have not yet been funded, and where are you in the program? And can you tell me what is the most impactful part of your training that you've experienced so far?
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I mean there's so much. As an entrepreneur, I have built businesses and so forth, and lost businesses, especially in COVID.
Mhm.
And now through going through the Solomon Institute, what I really appreciate is the fact of the training that we go through, and almost like going back to school, because you call them freshman class, sophomore class, and
Yeah.
so forth. But I've graduated senior class, and now I'm in live tech, practicing the craft of the trade and learning and putting all the things that I've learned to actual action. And what's funny is that I was always told that it's going to reveal who you are when you start to trade. And I always thought I was a pretty, cool cucumber until I get trading, and I was like, oh, and then the fear of missing out kicks in, and I want to try to catch up. So, it's really good that we're in a safe environment. And I think probably the most impactful thing for me is being, once you graduated, being in live tech and being with we call them our battle buddies with Tariq and Curtis, as we're doing our trades or watching the market. And then also at times when you come in to do the mentorship and just talk to us about the whole trading philosophy and how to make sure we keep the money that we make, as opposed to just always rolling the dice and put it all on black, so to say. Because I never looked at that aspect of it. It's always being in the area of risk, as opposed to, and you're really in your mentorship, it's always, hey, why give back what you got? Once you got it,
Yeah.
you keep it, and that's I mean, the most impactful thing is just the as I've gone, every step has been fantastic. But once you get into live tech, it also just kind of kicks it up that other notch. And then to have that mentorship, I think, is really great. And then to get to know people from New Jersey, from Alabama, all these people I've never met before, and to get the chance to meet them, it's just phenomenal.
That's good. That's good. That's awesome. So you mentioned live tech. So for those of you who are listening, live tech is short for live technical analysis. In other words, throughout the trading sessions, we're on with the students, myself or another facilitator. Tariq is one of our facilitators for our live tech sessions as well. And so we'll be on there making sure that when rules are met, because what we have is a rules-based, black and white, no gray matter, nothing to think about. Just simply read and react, follow the rules. And then when you do that, you experience massive success, like so many have already done, and you'll be next in line for that if you decide to come aboard and be a part of what we're doing. So that's really good that live tech is helping you. So it's making a difference to have someone, Rene, it's making a difference to have someone on to kind of confirm. What is it like? What does that bring a certain level of comfort? Because we have live tech, and I just want people to hear the journey. See, Tariq and Curtis are finished, but just as you go through it. So is that helpful to you?
Oh yes, because I mean, live tech isn't all day. We have that period of time that we're actually doing it, and it's very helpful to hear and to see, and just to help identify trade patterns that we're taking advantage of, and to have that consort, because the evil person comes out of you every so often and says, oh, I think I can do this, I think I can do this, and then you do it, and it comes and bites you in the rear, and you go like, what didn't I do? And I think that's the real part, is because we have the guardrails. So if we decide to step outside of the boundary of the rules, then when when it comes back to bite us in the rear, we go, okay, so I decided to take a detour here, and it was not necessarily the best thing for me to do. So let's get back on track. And then as long as you continue to follow the rules, and this is what you talk about all the time in live tech.
Yeah.
Were the rules met? Were the rules met? And well, I thought, no, were the rules met? And I was like, yeah, he got me, because I thought, but I didn't meet the rules. And I think that tutelage just really helps because you talk to us a lot about being professional traders, and it really is the consult to help us to perfect our craft and actually be professionals in what it is that we're doing in the market.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Curtis, let me ask you a question, Curtis. What does it mean for you and your family that you now are a funded trader? So now I know you own a couple of barbershops and things of that nature. So now being a funded trader, it brings another stream of income into that house. I know Mama's glad about that. What is it? What is it? How has it impacted you now and your family that you're now a funded trader? And of course, you have to continue to be consistent. It is a performance skill. It's never over. It's always happening. But what is it? How does that impact you and your family?
Well, it provides a level of security for one. I would say two. Number one is, my wife, she works on the road. She travels quite a bit, and I was looking for something to kind of keep her home. I have three girls at home. One at kind of each stage, one in high school, one almost in middle school, and one just kind of starting out in second grade. So they need, I'm there, but they need mom.
Yeah.
They have questions, they have different things going on at school, and a lot of times they can't get her. So this will afford us, as I kind of matriculate through it, the ability to have that income and to fast track us to some other things that we were planning to do, down the road, as far as some investing, some real estate investing, to take this income and kind of just pour it back into some of the things we want to do to grow, grow us as a family, as a grow some wealth, leave a legacy. Those are all, my dreams. So when you can see those things, they seem so far off, but with having the skill,
Mm,
it kind of brings everything into perspective. It makes everything, it makes it real. It brings it into, it brings it more so into reality. And that's kind of how it's helped us, and I can see it helping us. I mean, I'm early on in this, but I've learned, and it took me a while. I must say, it took me a while to get here, because when you hear the potential to make, oh, you can make this amount of money, $1 million, you think that you're going to make $1 million in a day.
mm,
So you start to try to shortcut and do things that you shouldn't do, because it's something that you need. And just like Rene and Tariq was saying, you find a lot about yourself. You have to learn to be patient. You have to learn to that there are things in this market that you can control, that you can't control, and those three things that you preach, entry, exit, and your risk. That's all I can control.
that's it.
And my problem was, I was trying to control so many other different things, and it just kept in this cycle of just kind of repeating the same things, until I finally realized, if I'm going to do this, then there's no shortcut. I have to start journaling. I have to start doing the things that I'm being preached to, and I'm being coached on. That's another thing about this. You are coached. It's almost like being on the foot. I'm a football coach, so this is almost like being on a football team. Yeah, once the coach comes and recruits you, and he tells you what all can be, and everything is butterflies and all that. And man, when you get to practice, and this coach gets in your face because you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you,
Yeah.
it makes you it really makes you question, okay, is this really what I wanted? Well, if I want the outcome, then this is what I'm gonna have to go through. So I think is really gonna be a plus for me and my family. I'm so glad that I was able to do it. I'm so glad that my wife got behind me in doing this, and I
That's
really think it's gonna be beneficial.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that's important. I see you nodding your head, Renee, about wives being, involved and supported, because that's the key. I have seen people fail, not fail, but delay their success because their spouse was, and the market is already against you. Like you have enough adversity just being trading. So now if you got adversity on the screen and in your ear, it's just going to be a tough road. It could be done. I've seen some guys power through that, and then their wives were converted, but it was difficult, to convert them. They just didn't believe by faith. You know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing that you have that. And you said something key. Control the controllable. So, Rene and Tariq, what does that mean to you when you hit that control the controllables? Because that is the reason 99% of the people fail at this. Number one, they're ignorant, no knowledge, right? So you just can't get this up off of a book or YouTube or something like that. Somebody has to walk you through this. I mean, you need an apprenticeship, like a mentorship. Like it's just what it is. Just think about it. You can't even weld two pieces of iron together without going through some kind of apprenticeship program. So now if you can't even just weld without someone, you can't even drive without someone driving in the car with you and say, hey, yeah, you got it. You're right. Like, before you get marriage counseling. Like you and people go to YouTube, put money in an account and jump in the market with no mentorship. And it's like, they're just frustrated. Like, but you know what? You text the word prophecy 94253, unshameless plug, because we'll help you. We'll help you. So, Tariq, what does that mean to you, controllables?
Just like Curtis said, your entry, your exit, your stop loss. That's what you can control. Everything else, you just have to follow the rules and read the conditions, and make sure you engage in the right spot. But as far as the struggles to get to where me and Curtis is, as far as being funded traders, was real. You
Mm,
know, I was at the same location like Curtis. Not following the rules and doing extra stuff just because, like he said, hearing the end goal as far as how much you can make, and thinking about what I could pay off, and how it would get me to a point to where I could be comfortable, and where the family could be comfortable, and things of that nature will have you do things that is outside of the rules.
mm,
And it took a lot of knocks upside the head, so to speak, to get me to act right, and follow the rules, and just stay on the path of, to get to this point where I became funded. And it I didn't really, I mean, at the time of the loss, it definitely felt like somebody stabbed me in the heart. Like, it was painful. But looking back at the pictures and analyzing the things, and looking at what I did wrong, I finally, came to the point where I said, listen, it's not going, like Curtis said, you're not going to make the million in one day. So let me just go ahead, follow the rules, you know, take the profit, and keep it moving. And ever since that time, I just been doing much better.
man, that's good. That's good. So I'm gonna ask you in just a minute, what advice would you give to someone? That's what I'm gonna ask you, Curtis and Rene. What advice would you give to someone who's looking to bring an extra stream of income in? But I think that's critical. Those things that you're saying about the patience, because after you get knowledge and after you get understanding, when you move to that third level, which is application, when you move to that level, you have to be patient, because what you are going to apply is not going to happen all the time. It's only a few tradable moments. In this book that I wrote, The Money Market Autopsy, I talk about that in this book. I talk about how the fact that there are many moments that you can make a trade, but there are only a few tradable moments within those many moments, if that makes any sense. So I think it's important that you do that and that you recognize that. So, Rene, what advice would you give? First of all, we'll wrap it up here. First of all, would you recommend people to do this? And if you would, why?
Okay. Well, I would definitely recommend this. I mean, actually, um, I asked my wife has joined me in this
Mm,
journey as well, and we have fun. So actually, it's kind of fun. My wife sits right next to me. We do the trades at the same time. Sometimes she takes trades before I do, and I just give her a high five. I mean,
wow.
there's there's a bonding that can occur in this aspect. And then also I believe in it so much that I encourage my daughter and my son-in-law to get started. So now they're starting on the journey.
Wow.
So they just started and they're going through orientation. Now the thing, what I would encourage everybody, now I have a business. I still do a lot of work outside of this business, and my whole goal was to eventually replace that income. But so you can still do it in the process of whatever it is that you're doing currently to take a job. But the thing is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that you could eventually get rid of that other job that you have and have more control of your time. And it's just a journey. I mean, my journey took a little longer than I was hoping to, because we always want to get in and, oh man, I can graduate all these classes. I'll be trading and making money in 60 days. Well, that ain't always the case. There is a journey, but I would encourage everybody to really get started and understand that there's a process, and go through the process. And you're never going to truly arrive, but you're going to go through the process, and you're going to start seeing the successes in your life, and you'll see the benefits of that overall. And that's one of the reasons why my daughter asked me, can I get started as well? So that's what I would encourage people to do.
That's great. That's great. You answered my second question as well. I guess you're a little clairvoyant as well, huh? So yeah, I was going to ask you, what would you tell them? But that's great. You said that you would, and then you said that your son, your daughter, son-in-law, daughter, right?
Yes.
Why? Okay. Yeah. So basically your whole posterity almost.
Exactly. I only have one daughter, so so I'm doing this to get, I'm helping, we're all doing this together, and we have our grandson, which is her son.
Wow.
And so we're looking at the legacy of creating another generation of this type of a situation. So that way, I know this is a virtual background, but one day we can all have a home like this, and to have family, and to really truly teach others, because it's not only what you get, but it's what you bless others with as well.
That's right. That's so key. Because that's what we're about. God gave me. So I have a ministry, CB3 Ministries International. You'll see my television broadcast, maybe in a city that you're in really soon. Because one of the things that I don't shy away from is that this is what God gave me to give to His people. And now we do have people who are part of our group who are not, born again Christians. We have some Muslims. We have some people from different backgrounds, and that's perfectly fine. But I do know that it's the will of God for you to experience the blessings and the abundance that this earth has to offer. I know that. And so I always keep that at the forefront. And early on, people would tell me close to me, hey, listen, if you stop talking about God, you might get more sales. But that's not the most important thing to me, because what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and then lose his entire soul? So I'm going to rely on God. I want to pray to God. God is going to give me this witty invention. I've never been to computer classes or anything, and I developed the software. I wasn't the strongest writer in my English classes, and I've written 2 or 3 books. So you can't tell me what God cannot do. So I cannot use God to get to this place and then forget Him because I want to make more money. So that's one of the things that we do, and everybody in our group, I wear God on my sleeve, on my shoulder, on my leg, because I'm not ashamed of the gospel. You see what I'm saying? And so this is God's will. Most people spend so much time talking about the afterlife. That's eschatology. What's going to happen after we die and go into heaven and a mansion over there. But God says you should have a mansion right here. Jesus said, matter of fact, He said, when you pray like this, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Not just heaven. So why are we singing about heaven all the time and trying to go to heaven? And we're going, but I don't want to rush it. Right now on earth, we're supposed to enjoy this life. So that's good. So I'm glad that you and your family are part of what we're doing. So Tariq, I ask you, so would you recommend this to someone? And if you would, why?
Listen, I try to promote every chance I get. When I used to work at the post office, I got a guy. I don't know if he ever got in touch, but I gave him, as long as I give somebody the number and the website, it's up to them to go forward with it. Like Rene said, it changed his situation. Kurt is the same thing, and why not spread it around? It's not, like you always say, is 400 and something $billion in the market, and we all can't take it for ourselves. So like I said, every chance I get, I try to tell people about it. And like I said, if they go and take a look at it for themselves and join, great. If not, I still did my job by spreading the word. And you know I just feel that is the best opportunity to improve your situation, anybody's situation, even if you are financially well off already. You still could get your time back instead of going to that job working 60 hours a week or 80 hours, whatever. You could just come here and be in your pajamas and
Yeah.
make your pajama paper. Like Rene said, is to leave a legacy. So in my situation, it's pretty much a family thing. I'm in it. My mom, she actually was the beginning, so she she was the foundation, and then she dragged me along, and then she got my sister in it. So it's me, my mom, and my sister. So I'm trying to continue that as well. So when I start getting a little bit well off, I'm trying to get my daughter and my oldest son, get them the software and get them the inside the classes, and let them start making their own pajama paper. But like I said, every chance I get, I try to promote. And it's a blessing, and I'm definitely thankful for being a part of the group.
That's good. That's good, man. We definitely thankful that you're here. So your family too. I think Alex has a lot of his family members in it as well. So I mean that's good, because that's what God wants. He's happy when we're happy. That's just a fact. Okay, Curtis, Austin, how you doing? So would you recommend anyone to come and be a part and to apply to be a student at the Solomon Training Institute? And if so, why?
Yes, I mean I would. And matter of fact, I have a fraternity brother and a couple of others that are in the classes now. And I've told several people, and I'm always bringing people on, and because it's life changing. If you're looking for a way to get out of get out of the rat race, to have more control over your life, your income, this is the way to do it. But the only thing about it now is being funded. A lot of us they want proof. They wanna know that it's real, because they really don't know anybody that's doing what we do. I don't know any barbers that are making $50,000 a month. And if you
Right.
tell somebody that, they wouldn't believe you. So you have to have that proof. And with being funded, now you can show and say, look, this is real. I did it. I'm not going to tell you I did it in 2 days or a couple of weeks. It's going to take time. It's a skill that if you learn it, nobody can take it from you. If you're a convicted felon, I mean, whatever your background is, the markets don't care. So this is something that anybody can do. It's something that you can do if you want. The same thing with my daughter. My daughter is 16. She's working. She's going through the growing pains of dealing with managers and people kind of talking to her. I said that's life. You work a job, you're going to have to deal with that. And she wants to quit. She called her mom. Hey, I'm no, you're not quitting. You're not quitting. You're going to stay there. But I'm doing that in hopes that it will create in her a entrepreneurial spirit to make her want to go out and have her own. So that when she has her own and you become the boss, you can be the boss that you want people to be. That boss that you wanted, the way you want to be treated. Now you can treat people the right way. You can do that, but you can use this as a springboard to do that. So I would definitely recommend this to any and everybody I come across. And I can't wait. I've got a group of people right now that I'm just waiting to push this on.
Yeah. You been waiting. You got to get you some get back home.
Yes.
And that is true because I remember when I got to the point where I stopped trying to tell people about it because the way they were looking at me and the things that they were saying, and I was starting to get in my feelings, and the Lord said, well, no, just it's not your job to receive, it's your job to offer. I said, okay. And then I start worrying about it. I start taking it personal, just like when we, share Christ, everybody's not going to believe it, so that's just because it's just so phenomenal. But here's what I ask people. I say, okay, you believe in a higher power. You believe in God. Yeah, I do. I said, when the last time you saw God? Well, I haven't seen him. I said, but you believe in him, right? I said, but you can see me. I mean, you can look at the screen. You can touch the screen. You can come to my house. What is so hard to believe about it? But when you have been taught that a good living is working good and working for 30, 40 years and getting a certificate and a watch that's probably going to turn by the time you even get home colors. But that's a noble. That's noble. You're a man's man. You got a job, but nah, that's garbage. Before I started doing this, I was a paint contractor, and the last job I did was painting 80 Walmarts in Texas, and that was a lot of hard work. And then now, we make more money before we even walk out of the door than we did walking out of the door, staying out of the door all day, and that's just tremendous and amazing. So we're about to close now, but the Solomon Training Institute is an institute that has been erected by God so that you can come in and get knowledge, understanding, and you can get help as you apply this knowledge and understanding in an industry where there's over $447 billion in it, floating around in it every single day. So quick disclaimer, I'm not promising you that you're going to make $1 million. I'm not promising that you'll make $1. I'm not promising that you won't lose $1. But what I am promising you is that we do have a system that's been proven, that it's been back tested, forward tested. So we've done everything on our part, and we do have a group of people who are really, living the kingdom lifestyle because of what we have created. And we would love to have you to be a part of what we do. So as we wrap it up, I want to say one thing that I always say: it is the will of God that you prosper. Thank you, Rene. Thank you, Curtis. And thank you, Tariq, for sharing your Saturday morning with me. God bless you guys. Can't wait to see you in the terminal at the terminal Monday morning. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. If you want to know more about what we do, text the word profits to 94253. You can go directly to our website, www.moneymarketedge.com, and you can book a discovery call. And I'd love to have a conversation with you to see whether or not we're a good fit or not. But I just believe by faith that we can do some great things. If you are a group leader, if you are a leader, a civic leader, sororities, fraternities, schools. I do this at schools. I do this at colleges. I do presentations in different places. I do them in churches as well. So if you would like for me or our team to come to you and do a presentation, we'd love to do that. So if you go to our website, there's a place where you can do what we call a speaker request, and we'd love to share with you what we are doing right now that's changing so many lives. Again, it's the will of God that you prosper. Have a great day. All right, that's it, Quad. Let me see if we, because it's a certain way we have to exit to make sure we don't lose this recording. So if you all just give me 1 second to get him on the phone. Okay,
can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes,
we can.
sir.
I know it was some way that we had to exit. Oh, so those of you, Tariq, I don't know if you ever met my son. You hear me talk about him all the time, but that's my son, Cornelius Brown IV. That's the quarterback.
What's up, gentlemen?
Yeah, so that's Rene. That's Tariq, and Curtis was on with us. And so this is guys.
Yeah, I enjoy you guys. Sounded good. You guys did a good job. So but like Dad was saying with the recording, so I'm gonna end the recording.